Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's go.
Round one. Fight.
Thank you for tuning in to the Crypto Street Podcast. Here are your hosts, Killer Whale, Prince, and Crypto Dale.
And remember to tip your waitress.
What's up, everybody? Hopefully you are making it through this bloody hell that we're going through right now. This is Crypto Dale. Thanks for tuning in to Crypto Street Podcast. Killer, you making ends meet?
Well, trying to stay above water here. It's real tough. The waters are choppy. Quite an ugly day. As of recording, I think Bitcoin's is about 8,500, 8,000 or so. Everything else is down like 30-ish% this past week. It's been a nightmare. How you guys holding up?
It is just a shit show. One thing is, like we were talking before we started recording, it's just so mentally exhausting to go through it. So we're going to touch base on that a little bit later. But Prince, what's good, my man?
I don't know. Same shit show, new day.
You know what? I'm not even going to ask you what the weather is because I've seen a bunch of people bitching saying,
yeah,
this isn't a fucking weather show, so fuck you.
That's funny, though. Like, just to show you can't please
well,
everybody. We have so many people who are like, that's my favorite part.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like, markets kind of suck right now. Crypto Twitter is kind of sad. It's kind of a depressing place to go to right now. You know, it's tough times, hard times out there. You feel the pain.
It's ruthless. You say one thing and like people are just looking for a fight on Twitter.
It's tough times right now. People are feeling it.
Well, one person you should never fuck with, good times or bad time, is it's Roy, but it's his Twitter's at StarTailTV. Roy, what's going on, man? Thanks for being on so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, guys?
One of, everybody we've had on here, I always say is one of my favorites, but I don't know if there's someone out there besides maybe Bully that makes me laugh more than your tweets, Roy. So thank you for that and keep it up.
Oh yeah, of course,
So
just keep it 100.
Keep it 100.
That's right. You do too. That is the truth too. One thing we always like to ask every guest is, how did you get into crypto? Maybe when did you see it? What was it that caught your eye?
Okay, so I got into crypto around December of 2016. So I've been trading for a little over a year now. I was actually on 4chan. I think most people were probably on 4chan.
Yes.
How they found out about crypto.
Not me.
I finally got Dale.
I just found 4chan a week ago. Right.
Yeah, I just started trading like a few days ago. Still learning what Bitcoin is. So, but I learned about Bitcoin there, and I kind of ignored it because everyone was really shilling Ethereum hard at the time. And I was like, whatever. I was visiting the board just to learn about business, not really for crypto. But then I got into crypto. I bought my first Bitcoin around like $700, and it was only $5 worth. So my account, I had just $5, and I traded that for like a month. And what I like to call it is, everyone says you have to learn how to trade properly, right? You have to mess up to actually learn. And I did that with $5. So I call that my education expenses. I didn't pay very much.
Played it smart.
I paid $5 for my education. I went all in on like Nexium when it launched, and I lost like half my stack there. So I lost $2.50.
Which is devastating at the time.
No ramen tonight.
Yeah, so I learned that, and then the first big real thing that happened for me was I had like $100 or something, and I put it into Pascal.
Oh, all right.
And we all know Pascal.
Yeah, that pump. Jeez.
Yeah, that was pretty legendary.
Yeah.
So I kept buying and reselling and buying and reselling. I messed it up. But by the end of that, I had like $300. So I was like, wow, this is something that maybe there's a little bit more to this, Yeah. So I started trading, and then, I thought I was the Wolf of Wall Street for like the first 2 months, just doing my trades and losing money and gaining a little bit here, a little bit there. But it's been a wild ride since then, man. Absolutely.
it's just been.
I
Nuts.
thought you were older than like 16, man. Because I think what happened is on Twitter, I think I got you, Sicarius, and Ver the OG mixed up for like the first 3 months I was on Twitter. Because you all have this like black and white anime avatar.
Yeah.
And like I would just get the three of you mixed up so often. So it's interesting because I came around a similar time, like late 2016 is when I got really heavily involved. And Ethereum was just like the talk of the town. And I think if you look at this recent dip, it's down, but Ethereum's holding somewhat
pretty
strong.
steady, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the last week. I mean, I think this happens every few months. You know, it's the financial equivalent of getting kicked in the nuts. So
Yeah.
it's pretty rough.
Bringing us back down.
You
to
know
earth.
what's so funny is when I bought Ethereum right out of the floodgates too, and I doubled it up, and I just felt like I was fucking Mr. Big Shot. You know, like I just envisioned like walking down the street and people looking at me and me like doing the little like finger at them, being like, "What's up? I doubled my investment. How you doing?" You know, and then you know, you're just feeling on top of the world, and then I make a stupid fucking trade, and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
You know, then you're walking down the street and just kind of head down. So it's funny. It's funny you say that.
Yeah. Did you have like a severe baptism, like by bad trade that kind of set the stage for your trading career? I mean, you got cut in half on that one ICO you got in, but was there like a huge loss that really affected you?
No, there were no real huge losses, honestly. I mean, aside from that one, it was just a lot of me trying different strategies. So I thought, like how everyone thinks when they start trading, that you need to find this one quick pill to make you lose 20 pounds in like a week. And I was like, okay, well, here's one quick pill to make me a billionaire. All I have to do is like go all in and then sell at 1% gain and do that like 100 times. And then I'm a millionaire, right? So, and then I was like, okay, well, that didn't work out so well because I just lost 10%. So I was like, okay, well, how about I like go on Twitter and I like search for like all the news that's coming out, and I try to like front run the news. So I tried doing the news thing for a while, and then that was okay, but then I got dumped on a few times because you know people dump on the news.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, so that's not working. Maybe I should try using like these daily candles. I don't know what these are because I was trading on like 15 minutes and 5 minutes up until that point. So I was like, maybe I should try the daily candle. And I was like, maybe I should like follow some of these people on Twitter, you know, because they're like smarter than me, probably, right? So I was kind of getting to the point where I'm not the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm just like some guy. And this is like the group interview. What was that one movie, Boiler Room, where where they do the group interview? It's like I'm just like one of those guys. And I'm just following
Marlin?
people.
Was that?
Yeah. And I'm just following people. And News particularly was one of the people who I really was like, wow, this guy knows his shit.
Yeah.
And then Crypto de Medici as well. Do you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I do not.
Of course, buddy.
Okay, do you know who Crypto de Medici reminds me of? He reminds me of Littlefinger. Every time he posts, he's like, he's like, the charge,
Just like
see the price, and liquidity to move through the chart. And I'm just like, this guy's like Machiavelli or something.
I agree, dude.
I love that guy. Yeah, so I started following people on Twitter, and for those guys, really, I mean, God, they're so smart.
Yeah.
You guys are so smart. I mean, jeez.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
you
those guys
feel
are
like
amazing.
you maybe have a grasp on something, and then like with us when we had Medici on, we felt like I was like, okay, you know, I'm rocking and rolling, and then he's on there, and I'm just like, whoa, I am fucking dumb. So it's the people that I've never met smarter people in my entire life than the people I've met on crypto.
Yeah.
In crypto.
And don't be scared to put yourself out there. You know, like voice your opinions. Even if you're not sure if you're correct, put it out there. And like, yeah, some people are gonna hate on you and just crap all over you, be like, you're an idiot. But there are a lot of helpful people too. And don't be scared to like put your ideas out there and have them challenged and corrected because you're gonna get smarter and learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and if they bust your balls, they're a douchebag anyway, so you don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I mean, you can have adult conversations and shit and bounce ideas off people and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I never understood that whole like just asshole thing because like when I get like a new person, it still kind of like tickles me a little bit inside. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I remember I was there and I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
And like I thought I knew shit, but like I fast forwarded 3 months and I was like, oh my god, why did I think that? You know. So your opinions can change so rapidly as you learn the landscape.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. So I was gonna say, so what I ended up deciding to do after all these different strategies was like, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trade by committee. So I'm gonna get like the 10 smartest people on Twitter, and every trade I make, I'm gonna see what they think. So for Bitcoin, I was like, all right, what does News think about the Bitcoin price? What does York later on? What does he think about the Bitcoin price? What does Medici say about the Bitcoin price? And I was like, all right, now I'm gonna go long or short based on what they think. And that worked out really well because basically I had like 10 minds working on like one trade, even though they didn't know it. So yeah, I was like, thanks for all the money, guys. At the end of the
that's
day,
really
like,
Well, and part of
interesting.
it is like, yeah, crypto's so complex. It's like you can be a genius programmer and know nothing about investing, So it's like, but both of those are extremely important to making money in crypto.
for sure.
And so you can be like a baller in one field and you still have so much to learn in all the other ones.
Definitely.
Roy, let's talk your strategy. Like, maybe some tips or something for people listening on what you like to do with like technical analysis and stuff like that. Your strategy for a
Okay.
trade, and maybe take us
Sure.
through the process.
So I used to be a big technical analysis guy because that's one of the things that has pushed the most on Twitter.
Mhm.
I started removing indicators and RSIs and Ichimokus and etc. And the only thing I really use nowadays for technical, if I trade on technicals, is horizontal support and resistance. That's it. I mean, it's just the best.
Love it.
You can sometimes I'll throw in a little bit of Ichimoku here and there, but for technical analysis, it's horizontal support and resistance. What I do
Yeah.
now that's about 10% of what I do. More importantly, now I've become a fundamentals trader. I've become a markets trader. So I don't need to necessarily be able to see 3 months out, but I definitely can tell what most people are going to be thinking next week when Bitcoin is dumping, let's say. So I really make my trades around that. So one of the best examples I can give is August 1st. We had that hard fork for Bitcoin Cash last year. And so my idea was, well, everyone's going to sell their alts to get into Bitcoin, right? Because they want to get the free Bitcoin Cash. So the play for me is pretty simple. You just wait for sell the alts like a month before. So I was sitting in Bitcoin during the time all the alts were bleeding really, really heavy. So one of the best plays I made. Alts bled. They went down to something like 30 or 40% from their all-time highs. I bought in like a day or so before the fork. The fork came. Everyone started buying back their alts, and I instantly gained on my entire portfolio like 20 or 30% in a day.
Wow, good for
Right.
you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
so
It's
if
like
you,
market
so you
psychology.
don't, yeah. So my thing is, you don't really need to know too much as long as you know the market and you know the fundamentals. You don't really need the technicals really to back you up. What I have found though is oftentimes because there are technical traders on Twitter, they're obviously better than me. The technicals usually almost always line up with the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, when Bitcoin went from from $5,000 to $2,500, and we had that massive volume candle last year, when everyone was panicking, on a technical basis, that made perfect sense. The chart was set up perfectly for it. Fundamentally, China was banning Bitcoin. Exchange after exchange was posting that they were banned from trading, et cetera, et cetera. ICOs were being banned, and so if you're a trader and you're looking at this, don't forget, if you're trading technicals, don't forget the fundies. If you're trading the fundies, don't forget the technicals, because oftentimes they are married and they really work together to achieve a greater effect.
Because a lot of people think technicals are like woo-woo, like you're drawing lines, you're trying to freaking like work a Ouija board or something to, look at the symbol you should buy next. But the thing is, all technicals is a visual representation of investor sentiment and emotion. So view it like that. It's like a painting that's sort of describing how the market feels. And look at it like that, and like look at breakouts like that, look at breakdowns like that, like a sort of a crisis of confidence. And think about it emotionally. I think that's super important. Because when I first got involved, I was like, technical analysis, like it doesn't work like that. I mean, it can work in equities, but it's really tough because they're so competitive. But especially in crypto, we're still at the place where if you're good at technical analysis, it can help you a hell of a lot. Because they're not as competitive, they're not as liquid, there's not as much competitive money in the markets yet. But don't ignore it because it's important stuff. Prince, I'm sure you could probably
I think it's
attest to that too.
like a classic we've seen in the alt bull markets was just the classic bull pennant, bull flag. And, it's like you could literally just see that. You could buy it because you knew everybody else in the market is going to see the same thing. And next thing you know, you would be sitting on, a minimum 2x return just from that, right? And so that was almost like kind of how easy the market's been in a sense for some of these, these technical structures and all that. But yeah, I think they'll get a little tougher to play now that we're already kind of seeing it where you'll get a pattern that looks bullish. It'll start a breakout and then it does a fake out and it actually breaks down, sucking in all the breakout traders. And then, just doing a complete breakdown, which we're starting to see slowly. And those are usually, the smarter, I guess we'll say algo guys and all those guys who really know how to play the game.
And that sort of idea of it being like a self-fulfilling prophecy is so interesting to me too, because it's just like you said, Prince, like you have a bunch of people just like us looking at their charts. They see this bull pennant and they go, oh, this is a bull pennant. I've seen this before. This breaks up and then it goes higher. And so all these people are thinking that and it actually comes to fruition because everyone else is thinking it too. I posted something on Twitter, I believe earlier today or yesterday, about how assets get priced in markets basically because people think they will be worth X in X amount of time. And these thoughts and these opinions manifest themselves through crazy complex equations. And, there's so many people in play. But that's at the end of the day what it is this mass kind of swarm mindset and the sentiment. And it's interesting how just, being bullish on something can in itself be bullish, It's very weird to think. It doesn't really make sense.
It's just like...
It kind of does the more you get involved.
Really, it's all... like I kind of like where Roy was, where he said, he was just really playing events and playing investor psychology because even just, some of the alt bull markets we've had, kind of like going back to that bull flag thing, you could buy the bull flag and you could even just buy it just because you knew everybody else was going to buy it. Yeah. You didn't even have to buy it. Yeah. It's
breakout.
Like, the chart was just to go along with it, but it was like, wow, okay, you see the chart and you're like, yeah, everybody's going to see this. Everyone's going to buy it. Like it's, it's too.
And it doesn't matter the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Roy, what do you think about like this crappy week we've had? Like, what do you see? Where do you see this going? What do you see? I know this is super tough, but what are your kind of feelings on this?
That's an insane question. So this actually kind of goes into what I was going to say. One of the other tricks that I've picked up, I don't know if anyone else does this really, but this is kind of my way of figuring out the tops and bottoms in Bitcoin. I know that's really hard to do, but specifically bottom. So here's a hypothetical example. Let's say Bitcoin is trading at $5,000 and nothing too crazy, no FOMO, no hype, nothing, right? It's just $5,000. It starts building. It breaks the all-time high. It starts pumping. People start FOMOing in. People start selling their kidneys and their firstborn son to the devil in order to, they sell it to George Soros in order to go like 100x long. They're going 100x long. Everything's great. Bitcoin's like $10,000. Then it starts dropping because bankers hate us. So Bitcoin starts dropping from 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, etc. Where is it going to stop? So my personal theory is it's going to stop around that 5,000, where it was calm the most before the FOMO set in. When the strong hands were deciding at that point not to sell. That's where the strong hands were. The weak hands were from 5,000 to 10,000. So from 10,000 back to 5,000 is when the weak hands are going to give their bags to the stronger hands. So this is usually what I kind of do to decide tops and bottoms. So that was the hypothetical. Now the realistic scenario. Bitcoin, we really started pumping when we broke the $5,000 mark recently. So we went 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, all the way up to 10,000. And when we were at 10,000, the chart really took off like massively. The weeklies were crazy. Yeah. We're giving all that back to the market. All the weak hands are selling those gains right back. And so I think we're getting a transfer now of weak hands to strong hands. And I'm thinking the break is around 10,000 to 9,000. I really don't see us going too much lower, just because of, again, these are all like the Thanksgiving buyers, like the November guys who are buying in and now they're selling, and the strong hands are moving in to pick up those bags. Volume is looking crazy on some of these capitulation wicks, which I think we're getting a few of these. So if we're not at the bottom yet, I think we're real close just because of market dynamics, the technicals of the wicks. So everything, January is always historically a bad month. So this goes back to the thing where like everything always fits into itself. So February is when things start moving up a little bit again, we get the Chinese New Year, investors get confident again, and so Bitcoin starts moving up. So I'm thinking we're real close to the bottom, if not already there.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel better. Slowly I'm feeling better too. It's like, it's kind of getting more into a reasonable zone again. I think, oh shit. It's, well, no, I'm gonna retract this. I had a thought, but I'm retracting it now because no, I don't like it.
No backspacing allowed. You have to be an alpha.
I don't like it.
Do not edit that out, please.
I don't like
you can't backspace.
No.
I was gonna say I kind of get a bad feeling too. Like I'm an eternal optimist in most things, but I'm really starting to get like a bad feeling. I don't know if that's rooted in reality. I really haven't looked at the charts that much, so that's partially informed opinion on my part. But I don't know. I think there are so many people in crypto right now that are enthusiastic and have money but don't know shit. Because just like you were saying, Roy, it's like the Thanksgiving, the Christmas where people are gathered around the table. Little Jimmy, 18-year-old, goes to grandpa like, hey, I made a bunch of money on Ethereum. I bought it at $3 and went up to 700. He's like, what the fuck? And so grandpa's investing. Grandpa has no idea what he's doing, but he's piling the 401k into it. And so like you said, he's freaking out. If he's buying at 20,000 and we're at 8.5 now. But I don't know. There's a lot of money though, and I know that's already a 50% drop. So now I'm kind of reconsidering my opinion.
One thing is about crypto is the cycles are a lot quicker. So we go into a bear mode and it's still going to be a quicker cycle than say in a traditional market. So, and I think something that to think about is there's a lot of positive that is happening right now in the space, for creating, kind of limiting those barriers to entry for new money, just retail people, like we got the Robinhood app coming up. There's a ton of pre-signups for that. Then there's some, there's more. I think there was some I saw with American Express. I can't remember exactly. They're doing something, but, so you see there's a lot of things that are trying to, clear open the barrier to get in. And I think so because it's such a small market still, we have to take into that account. There's going to be more money getting ready to flow in. And plus, it's just, it's so, the cycles are quick. So, once we get a flood of liquidity, from all these new people with the barriers getting easier, I think, right away, that's going to help us probably a lot. So,
I mean, look at it this way, like as far as this tether FUD is concerned, this happened. The reality is that this happened a month ago, and we're only just now hearing about it. Shorts were being front run hours before the news broke. And so to me, this is like just obvious market manipulation. Yeah. If you look at the fundamentals of Bitcoin, we're getting Rootstock, which is coming out really quickly, which is going to be a possible Ethereum challenger. And we're getting Lightning Network, which is, very quickly ramping up. And these are two very bullish things, in my opinion, that you just can't ignore for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's never had something as powerful as Rootstock. We've had SegWit, sure, and we had some good pumps because of SegWit. But imagine a Rootstock pump. Imagine a Lightning Network enabled pump. So, I mean...
But and this is the thing, right? Everybody's always like, oh, Wall Street, we're going to dump on them. No. Wall Street, is going to get their entry price that they want, that they feel is good.
Exactly.
So,
absolutely.
And that's what's been happening. In my opinion, it's because like you said, there's a lot of things that point to, there being a lot of shorts being front run on that whole tether news. So yeah, I think, it's just players right now who want to get better entries. They don't feel like paying 20 or 17K US for a Bitcoin. And it's not hard to control these markets. You got the pockets and you got the expertise. You can do it. It's small, right?
Yeah, part of the thing I like to remind myself of too is I think given that we've been involved in the space, all of us, for at least probably like a couple of years or so, on average, like we kind of are comfortable. Like we feel like this space is like established and we know all the different projects taking place behind the scenes that are, funded by people with deep pockets who are smart. We know how established crypto is. People on the outside still have no idea. Like they still think it's this ethereal thing that's illegal and like a government's going to shut it down any day. And we don't get that perspective anymore because we know better. But a lot of people still think this. I think I read something on Twitter that the S&P 500 for the U.S. stock market, for people who don't know, I want to say ETFs took in on average during a given day in January as much as the entire crypto markets, or the crypto markets took in entirely in 2017. So stocks are taking on the sort of liquidity in a day that crypto takes on in a year. To give you an idea how small crypto still is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's nothing. It's a blip. It's a tiny dot on the map.
Oh, it's funny though, just kind of to piggyback again off what you said, Kelly. You get somebody who has deep enough pockets, they have a crew and network of, whales, we'll call them. They can work this market any way they want to. And, I believe it's going on anyways, but the smart players, they know what they're doing and they're going to do it to their advantage. And, it's just how it is.
Think about it. Look at who we are. We've gotten involved in these markets. We know, whales are pushing some stuff around. So, actual whales, they know this stuff too. Guys who are working at, Goldman, who are just screw this, I'm going to trade on my own. Those guys know all this stuff too. And they have way deeper pockets. So, you take a look at, even some pretty big mid-cap coins. They trade, $5 million a day. It's nothing. Zero volume. If you have any kind of pocket, you can just push that.
It's not really enough liquidity for most people to get in.
Roy, I'm curious. Do you have any sectors? We've asked this to a few people. Any sectors that you see being prominent in 2018, whether it be regulatory reasons?
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
So securities are going to be so big in 2018. We're getting the launch of T0, which is going to be, I believe, one of the first securities exchange. We're also getting the launch of the Gibraltar blockchain exchange, I think it's called, which I think is going to also be securities enabled. So these are exchanges that are going to pass the SEC. And what that means is essentially anyone who's looking to raise money for their company and tokenize their shares as securities is going to be able to do so fully legally and compliant. So we haven't really had this ever yet. There are some upcoming projects that I can't really talk about right now because I'm invested into them, but I'm super bullish on securities, tokenized securities. Anything of those is just going to be huge. So I don't think the Telegram one is a security. But let's say Facebook comes out with a security coin, for example, where you own some percentage or share of the network. That's going to be massive. Everyone's going to be jumping on that because it's so much easier than buying something through a broker where you can just buy it directly off the exchange and you're entitled to the
That one's
dividends.
that's hard for me to reckon with because I feel like crypto is so anti-corporate that you would think a Facebook or an Amazon coin would do amazing and maybe, but I could also see a backlash. Fuck out of here, Amazon. This is crypto.
Well, my counter example to that is how well has Ripple been doing being a corporate
people like money.
coin.
Yeah. True. And I argue on that coin's
Good
behalf
counter.
for that exact reason, just perspective.
So,
I think perception, I should say.
Yeah, I think securities coins are going to be pretty big. Another one people bring up a lot is the Decentralized Exchange.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more skeptical of that one, to be honest, than most. I think most of the volume is likely going to remain on platforms such as Binance and KuCoin, et cetera. I don't think people will particularly enjoy having to wait 10 seconds plus to make an order on a DEX. And I've yet to see a DEX that is actually quick and measurable or comparable to.
Do you think that's the sort of problem that will kind of solve itself as more people use these decentralized exchanges? Because liquidity brings more liquidity, but it's a matter of getting a critical mass.
It's not a problem of liquidity. It's a problem of the way that technology actually works. So if I do an Ethereum transaction, it takes 5 to 10 seconds to be transmitted on the blockchain. And so it's the only way that you can really get around that is if you do as much as possible off channel. And that introduces centralized risk. So at the end of the day, you're probably going to be running a centralized service in one form or another. So that's why I'm pretty bullish on still centralized exchanges, Binance, Bittrex, etc., KuCoin, and a little bit less convinced of decentralized coins.
Let's get your take on privacy coins, Roy.
All roads lead to Monero.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Monero's a baby of the podcast, so yeah, bullish.
Yeah, of course. Monero's the coin. I mean, for me, the most, if I had to talk to a family office or Warren Buffett or someone, and I had to say, look, you have $10 million, you want to be a part of the crypto, you want your exposure, I would say split it up between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, and Dash. Those 4 coins are the most legitimate coins, in my opinion, and you can't do wrong with those. Each of those brings its own special flavor to the table. And I think Monero especially, as the SEC starts. I mean, we just had a news piece today that broke out that Bitfury was doing some kind of, it's called Project Crystal or something, where they're doing blockchain forensics and tracking people on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Yeah.
Come on, like
Yeah.
we can't have that.
Yeah, Chainalysis has been doing that already.
Yeah, and so and you know the NSA is watching this and the CIA, and so we're going to have need eventually for coins like Monero, and it's going to be a need. It's not really a speculation thing. This
I
is
think
going to
Monero is
happen.
crazy undervalued.
Oh yeah,
market cap is $3.5 billion right now. Like Monero's addressable market is like 30
Oh
trillion.
yeah, it's insane. Monero's like, how much does a Monero cost? Like $200. It's so undervalued.
It's 234 right now.
It's pennies. It's pennies.
That's nothing.
It's pennies.
Yeah, very bullish on that.
That's one of the most undervalued ones I think right now is Monero.
Mhm.
For sure. And I've thought that for a while too. It like Monero has a habit of like kind of lagging behind the pack. Like it tends to pump like 5 months after everything else pumps. I don't know why.
Gives
Well,
us time to accumulate.
Just be happy you're not a Zeke holder.
Yeah.
Zeke decides to pump when everything's going down. I think it finally moved a little bit today.
Oh god,
Everybody got amped.
don't just Zcash. Zcash is the
Yeah, look
coin
at-
that everyone holds.
Yeah.
That they're all like gonna sell at 50% gain. And we're like, wow, guys, Zach
Everyone
finally
chills until they're
pumped.
out. Yeah.
60K in 2060 or 2020, whatever that article was.
Yeah.
Hey, Roy, let's talk about, we were talking, Killer Prince and I, before you jumped on, about like the market psyche, how physically draining and mentally draining this can be on someone. So let's get your take maybe on what you do because we were just talking, saying, damn, we need a weekend off where we can just do nothing. Nothing really related to crypto because we've been grinding on the podcast, grinding on whale reports. Shout out whale reports. Just doing a bunch of stuff. So we were just thinking of taking the weekend off. What's your thoughts on that? What's your take?
How many times do you jack off per day?
9.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, you gotta pump those up. You gotta pump those numbers up. I mean,
What do you have a job?
It's certainly like mentally stressing sometimes, but for me, I'm probably one of the least stressed guys I know, so it's not really such a big deal for me. But I definitely feel it some days, where it's like, hey, this is kind of like, I need a break. Like I need to talk to someone who doesn't talk to me about crypto. Like I want to talk about something else that's not crypto for a while. And it's hard to find people these days. Like, because all my friends are into it now and I kind of don't like it. So I'm like, hey, what's up guys? And they're like, oh, it's Startail. It's the crypto guy. It's, what are the picks?
Dude.
I'm just like, dude, let's talk about video games.
When you tell people about crypto, they treat you like Coinbase customer support.
Yeah.
Like, I get a call every time. It's like, what do you think about this coin? Or I got locked out of my account. Like, what do you want me to do? I don't know your password.
Please
I don't know your email.
DM
Email
Loondart.
them.
Yeah.
Please DM Loondart for all your
Yeah.
support.
All my coins disappeared.
Roy,
from
I
my
think that-
account. What should I do?
Yeah, exactly.
Not ask
I had a
me.
friend. He's like, I sent the Ethereum to the wrong address. It's just gone. He's like, you think there's anything I could do about it? And I was like, maybe. And like in my head, I'm like, definitely not. It's gone for sure. Like it was like thousands of dollars. Roy, I think it's very interesting. You talking about like kind of keeping perspective and keeping calm even in like a bear market. And I think that's super important. And that's a trait I've recognized in a lot of good traders. Somebody who comes to mind that I really sensed that from was Sicarius. When we interviewed him, you could just tell like he was just such a reasoned, rational, like thoughtful person. And like when I heard him like speak, I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a good trader. Like he has his emotions completely under control. Like he knows himself. What do you think trading has taught you about you?
It taught me that I'm a really good trader in a bull market.
There we go. I like that.
It taught me that. To be honest, I think Kane was covering this topic about 2 or 3 weeks ago on a Periscope video he made. Shout out to Kane. Basically, he said, if you're late for your school assignments, you're not going to make it in crypto. If you're late waking up, you're not going to make it in crypto. If you're lazy sometimes and you just want to sit on the couch and watch TV, you're not going to make it in crypto. All these different things, you're not going to make it in crypto. You have to deal with yourself as an individual and as a person if you plan to do this long term, because the chart is human emotion. I think one of you guys said it earlier. It's rage, it's fear, it's depression, it's happiness, it's greed, it's everything. And you're going to feel all of those things on the chart, especially when you're starting out. And so most of the traders who are successful, who have been doing this for a long time, they almost have this mute aspect where their emotions are almost dampened a little bit, because it's like, I've been through this, I know what it's like. And they approach life like this. And so they're, I would say, pretty successful in life too, because they don't let their emotions get the best of them. Yeah. So one thing that I learned about myself, was the original question, was I was an extremely lazy person before I got into crypto. I did not like to work. I didn't like to do my homework, etc. I learned that loses you money. When everyone else wants to be lazy and, I don't want to learn Ether Delta. Like, what is that? Let's just wait for the Bittrex listing. Well, my friend, I'll be selling you my bags at 10x. Yeah. I'll be selling you my bags at 10x. CryptoBeak once said, Ether Delta, now that we're talking about Ether Delta, like, if you want to get on the rocket, you will get on Ether Delta, because Ether Delta is the place where you get on before the ship is even built. So, for a lot of these ERC-20. So if you see an opportunity,
or you'll get hacked, right?
Yeah, or you get hacked. If you see an opportunity, like, you have to take it, even if it involves signing up to this weird exchange and sending Indians your passport. Just kidding, don't do that.
Well, I know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many people I've sent my KYC information to, but I really hope I don't get frauded.
Yeah, like for me,
I can't tell you how many people I refer to Poloniex, and they're like, "Do I have to enter my social here?" I'm like, "Well, you didn't have to when I registered, but I guess so." Good luck.
Well, there's that coin. There's that exchange, Q-Riptos or whatever. It's like a coiny exchange out in Japan, and so there's this coin, Sophia TX or whatever. SPHTX is the ticker, and it's only on that exchange, or it's on Ether Delta. So I was like, I'm going to avoid Ether Delta, send money to this exchange. Well, as soon as my money gets there, I realized, I can't withdraw until I do KYC. Oh, good. I'm stuck here now. So it's like I have the amount of KYC sucks.
Yeah,
He's not a KYC fan.
You got to send them your urine sample to get your funds out.
Yeah.
It's so true. A vial of blood.
All right, do you guys have anything else for Roy before we move on to over-under?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. So, Roy, we're going to do over-under, which is where I give a coin token, and then I say what its current price is, and then I give a target, and we say if it's going to be over or under by the end of this month. We're going to go by the end of February, okay?
Oh, that's so easy. This timing is amazing.
I know, it's going to be super easy, but let's start out with Bitcoin. Currently, according to Coin, and I get all these off of CoinMarketCap. So if someone's like, he said it's 8,700 and it's actually 9,000 right now, that's where I get it. So let's go. Bitcoin currently on CoinMarketCap at 8,773. Over under in 1 month, end of February, 10,000.
Over.
Fucking right.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going under. I'm going just under.
That's kind of what I was thinking. We're going to be right at 10K in my opinion, or just a smidge under. Okay, next one. Monero currently can't find the thing at 227. Over under 315.
It's doing its job. It's doing its job if you can't
yeah,
find it.
that's right. That's exactly it. Where the hell are you? Oh,
where is it?
There you are.
I'll go over.
350.
315.
Oh, wait, 350?
15.
Oh, 15.
350.
I kind of like 350.
Okay, let's do 350.
It's like super tough.
Let's do 350.
315, I'm going over.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, 315, I'm going over. 350, I'll go just under.
I don't even know what to say right now.
I'll go under on that one, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what?
I mean, I hope not, but that's kind of what I'm thinking.
You know, a test of 180-ish wouldn't be bad. Yeah, go under. Maybe, no. Well, you know what? I'll just say undecided. There we go.
Oh, that's such a bitch.
Well, first you're backspacing, now you're undecided. Like, kind of trader are you?
Sorry, guys.
I'm a bag holder, so I'm not going to give my opinion. I don't want to fluctuate the price.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Look, all I'm saying is, look, there's no maybe button on BitMEX. It's either buy or sell.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like Donnie Crypto told me one time, I said to him, Donnie, how do you trade on BitMEX? He says, transfer a Bitcoin over, hit the green, or he goes, move that thing over to 100x, hit the green button, and pray.
Just fucking give her.
And then And then he sends you his ref link.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. Next one. Let's go. Neo. Currently at, I think it was 114. Will be over under 175 by the end of the month.
Over.
That's brutal.
You sure, Prince?
I don't care. I'm going with it. I haven't even looked at the chart.
Under. Way under. 175?
Yeah.
You said
You said-
175. Why are you going? It's at what? 117 right now.
114.
Why are you going?
Okay.
This? What's
It's going
what's up
under.
with this spread here?
So all-time high in dollars is like 194. I think it's going to challenge that and then dip below. I don't like Neo.
I don't like the
That's
spread
why
on this question.
I'm imposing my thoughts upon it.
You don't like what, Prince?
I don't like the spread. This question, I don't like it.
Shut up, Steve.
Too much?
Roy, what do you think?
Over.
I'm saying over, too.
Oh, I hate
I think
Neo.
they have a lot of
Really.
good
hate
things
Neo,
in the
too.
works. So
Hope you guys are wrong.
I like Neo overall in 2018.
I don't like it.
Wait,
but
aren't they-
over? Yeah.
Are they rebranding again?
No, why would they rebrand again?
Are they-
yeah.
I thought they were rebranding again. I saw some coin
Neo-
that's
Neo
rebranding
Light.
again. Yeah,
It's
Neo Classic.
It's whatever went to Nano is the last one I saw. I can't remember what it
You
was.
mean Neo Cash?
That's what I'm gonna start
the
doing.
last
I'm just
one
gonna
ev-
start forking all these coins, and I'm just gonna put cash on the side of them. And you know what? Who knows?
Sounds pretty
Maybe
hot.
it starts trading.
Better wear
Yeah,
protection,
yeah,
Prince.
I can't wait for
Forking all these coins.
I can't wait for the Bitcoin Cash for it.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say that. Okay, last one's everyone's favorite coin, Ripple, currently at 87 cents. Will it be over $1.25?
No,
Boo!
I don't think so
I
either.
don't like Ripple.
it's had its pump.
Let me look at the chart.
Those days are numbered.
Every Ripple has its day.
Well, Dale, you've been a Ripple hater for years.
I have.
Even before you knew about it, you hated it.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm going under as well, actually. These charts are fugly. I'm stealing this from somebody on Twitter, but it's currently completing the Burj Khalifa pattern, which is just a tragic drop from the high, almost straight down with a little bit of steps in between. It ain't
thought-
pretty. I'm going bearish. And I love
The
Ripple, and I
funniest
have
thing
it.
I've seen in a while was so CNBC was doing a little you could shoot Brian Kelly questions over Twitter, and somebody asked him, what is it like? How do you teach us how to buy the Ripple top? And he got asked that.
That was the guy. That was the guy that was telling people to buy Tether at $1.04.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was like,
Buy Tether?
yeah, they were like, he was like, here's one cryptocurrency that isn't going down in this bloodbath. It's Tether. It's only
Why that's
$1.04.
fake.
Oh, shit. That's unbelievable. All right, well,
What a time
Roy,
to
that
be
wraps
alive.
everything we have up for you. You got any parting words?
Yeah, for sure. So thanks, guys, for having me. That was great. I have a website, globalhalo.com. I do ICO reviews there, all written by me. It's been picking up quite a lot of traction. So
Hey, and I want to give you a shout out for that because I've used a couple of your writings and I think that they're pretty awesome. So thank you for that. So
yeah,
everyone, get
thanks.
your ass over there and check it out.
Yeah, I do ICO reviews. That's actually my bread and butter lately. So I do scam ICO reviews. No, I get scammed. Aside from that, I'm also affiliated with Ironwood Research Group, which you guys have never heard of, but these guys are up and comers. They do really in-depth, like technical analysis. Like they really look into everything. Like they go much beyond the white paper. They recently released a report on Komodo, which was like super in-depth. And I would recommend anyone to go check out Ironwood Research. They have a Twitter, so just search for them there.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Other than that, I mean, everyone, if you're a noob, just kind of hold tight. Don't be too scared. This has happened before. It'll happen again. Yeah.
I love it. Thanks, man.
That was one thing I was going to say early in the show and kind of got off track too. But you can definitely tell the people that have been in this space longer than others because this comes up and everyone's just like, what do you do? Let's just either keep buying or just hold. And everyone else is like, what the shit do we do? What's going on? So just sit tight, relax, take a chill pill. Perfect time to step away from the computer.
Yeah, focus on real life a
so-
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, guys, this is the weekend maybe to go out camping, get a fucking tent, just stare at some trees for like 48 hours. And
I can't because
whatever.
I put my last $100 in Bitcoin and now it's 50%. Tens are 70.
Sir, I need to feel my family.
Tens are 70. Okay, I had some guy who messaged me on Twitter was like, I need $3,000 in like a week, and I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I told him to buy DigiByte.
Oh my god.
TGB.
Oh, jeez.
How about those transaction times though? Quick as shit.
Oh yeah. It's faster than you.
You can dump your position super
It's
quickly.
faster than
You should.
the speed at which you lose your value.
Yeah.
Well, Roy, thanks again for being on. I had a blast. Keep up the shit posting, the ICO reviews. You're definitely a valuable person to this space, so thank you for everything.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks, guys. This was awesome.
Thanks, man.
You bet. Take care.
Thank you, bro.
Peace out, everyone. Tip your damn waitress. Don't be stingy, even though you might have pumped every last penny into Bitcoin here in the last couple of days. But take care. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.